Hi, this is Gayle Palmer from the Living Elements Clinic near Chichester. Today I wanted to talk to you about increasing your sensory stimulation. As we get older, often we change our circumstances so much that we are no longer being stimulated by everyday life to the same extent. We might be sitting in a chair for long periods of time. There may be a TV blaring in the background, which we really have no interest in, or even ability to perhaps see or be able to concentrate on, to be fair. So stimulating our senses is vitally important to help our general health and well-being and keep our nervous systems alive and well. So there are 5 main senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, and hearing. There you go. And we need to be able to stimulate all of those in order to be well. So I'm going to first of all deal with the sense of touch. And this we probably could use far more than we're aware of. Very simple exercises that you can do. Get some balls. These are knobbly balls. This is a tennis ball. They have different textures, clearly. This is an old lacrosse ball. It's really smooth, but a lot heavier. And sense of touch is about the squishiness, the texture, the smoothness, the weight, literally the weight to a certain extent. So all of those things are really important to get when you're looking for things that you can literally play with and manipulate and work with. Other things you might like to get hold of, stones, and I've got some here, different sorts of stones. We've got, this is a schist, this is a flint, a fossilized sponge. Don't know what that one is, more like a sandstone, I would say. But they have different textures to them. And using things that are from the natural world is really important for increasing our sense of touch. That's how we're designed, that's what we've been used to over thousands of years, so use those. Get yourself some pine cones. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and you get an aromatic resin smell off them as well, which is fantastic. And you can also get a therapeutic putty. I've got some in the clinic. You can get it online, and you can use this to increase your sense of strength as well as change the texture. This is a reasonably firm putty, but if I squeeze it really hard, see it coming through my fingers there, and I might unpeel it, then you get this amazing texture which you can run your fingers over, back of your nails over, and that increases your sense of strength as well. So really useful tools which aren't expensive. Always make sure you put it back in its container and put the top on. They tend to dry out over time otherwise. To help you do what you need to do. Use all of your body when you're increasing your sense of touch, okay? So use the knobbly balls over your thighs, over your arms, around your elbows particularly, partly because you can get to them, but also those are your points where you tend to knock into things. So knowing where they are is really important to stop you having accidents. Next sense, what should we do? How about smell? As we get older, often our sense of smell decreases, and it's partly because we aren't stimulating it very often. So I've just picked these herbs from the garden. This is sage, very strong, powerful herb. Goes fantastically well with onions. You can make up a gorgeous sauce with fried off onions and fresh chopped sage. If you get fresh is fantastic, dried is okay. Bit of pepper in there. Fantastic sauce, and just completely stimulates your nervous system in the same way that rosemary does, a sprig of rosemary, which is why we often use it with lamb. Sage is traditionally more of a pork herb. What else have I got here? I've got some fennel. This gives you an aniseed flavour. You can put it into salads straight away. Fabulous aniseed balls flavour. Or you can put it with fish traditionally. But again, you get that strong aniseed smell. This herb is bay. Along with the rosemary, you can use it dry or fresh. And this tends to stimulate the memory. Kind of useful. And again, you can use it in cooking, and that's why it's flavoured as it is. But it's a really useful because it's powerful. Other things that you can use if you don't have fresh herbs to hand, or even dried ones: allbass oil, eucalyptus oil, even camphor will really stimulate your nervous system. Clearly, our world is surrounded by perfumes, from detergents to cleaning products, but most of those aren't natural. They're not so great for our systems. So try, if you possibly can, to use natural substances rather than so you can get some aromatic oils, and they're easy to get hold of from the health food shops, and so choose with the person who you're working with what they like most. That's usually the ones that will help them the most as well. Sense of sound. I'm outside in the garden. I'm hoping you can hear all the birds in the background, and I can hear the occasional car passing by. If you're in the city, you'd obviously hear buses, cars, sirens going off, perhaps people talking. But as your sense of perception decreases, you need to have these stimulation in a different way, and much more in your personal space. So going back to the stones, you can start creating a rhythm. You can use different angles of the stones, or different sizes. These two are fairly similar. Let's see if I can find a slightly smaller one. You get a different pitch off it. How about a homemade sound instrument? Dead simple to do. You need some saucepans or a jar, a couple of wooden spoons. You can use them either way up, or even a teaspoon. Just get them to play. It will help to their coordination as they're striking, and they can start working out rhythm, which is really useful. Just practice being 3 again. It's great fun. Okay, we've done sort of texture and taste. So what about sight? Although we use our sense of sight probably the most of all of our senses without realising it, with various eye diseases we can struggle, and our depth perception can also change, even if you've got glasses that are correctly suited for you. So working on that can be more difficult. We're so used to looking at a screen, aren't we? Whether it's a phone screen, TV, it's kind of all happens over there. What about if it happens with you? I've got here a big abalone shell, and as you can see, it is big. It's on a little mahogany stand, so you can put it onto a table, so it looks great. But one of the other things about it, it's iridescent. Isn't that fantastic? This is captivating for the eyes, really captivating, and it has texture. So there's different textures on the outside of the shell, and you've got the holes here, to the inside of the shell. You can see that slightly ruffled area, and then you have this beautiful smooth area here. To be honest, just looking at that stimulates you. But if you haven't got an abalone shell to hand, and I get that you might not, what other things can you be looking at? Well, looking is a real science in and of itself, okay? So try and find things that you can really study. And I'm suggesting not 2D, okay? So shaped objects. This is a memory foam brain. It's got crenellations in it and what have you. So look at them, study them. Other things that you can use, pine cones again, are great for that sort of thing. Pieces of furniture. How often have you really looked at a piece of polished furniture and seen the grain in the wood? All of those things cause us to really concentrate and be aware of being in the present, in the moment. And they're so useful. So see what you can do about creating things that stimulate you visually, and use some eye exercises. So instead of looking straight ahead, turn your eyes to the left, turn your eyes to the right. Same thing, repeat, and really exacerbate that, and then look up, look down, look up, look down, side to side. Because these eye exercises are really important for helping our eyes to work properly. And you will then start to see things in the distance and things near too as well. And all of that helps your sensory perception and your mental acuity maintain itself. So I hope those tips have been useful to you. What I would suggest is that you try and do some sort of sensory stimulation exercise once an hour, couple of minutes if that. It could be as simple as getting up and standing up and moving around, or get a ball out, do some stretching exercises, get those hands and fingers working as best you can, okay? The more you practice, the more your nervous systems get stimulated, the better you will be, the more active you will be mentally, physically, and the more alert. So have some fun with it, enjoy yourself. If you need some more help, give us a call at the clinic or contact us via the website. You can book online as well. And the website is www.livingelements.co.uk. So that's Gayle Palmer signing off, sunny back garden. Take care for now. Your health is my priority.